Hey Dylan and Gianna, it's Pop Pop, and I've got a story called Tag Along Fred. Oops. Okay. When Fred woke up, it was a beautiful day. The kind of day that was perfect to play. Fred told his mom, "I want to make this day as great as it can be." She said, "Then find something different to do. It's easy, you will see. You could enjoy interesting things if you take the time and look. You can draw a picture, write a story, or even read a book." "No," said Fred, "I want to do something even more different than that." "I can think of something," he said, as he reached for his hat. When Fred went outside, the fire truck drove by. It was shiny and red with a ladder that reached the sky. The truck stopped near the hydrant at the end of the street. Then Mr. Perez stepped down from the driver's seat. "Hi, Mr. Perez. I'm going to be a tag along today. May I tag along with you to see if the hydrants are okay?" "Sure," said Mr. Perez. "I inspect the hydrants every week to make sure that we can see them and that they don't have a leak. You will have to make sure that the reflector is seen at night and that no trash or grass keeps it hidden from your sight." "Oh, that's okay. I don't mind." So Mr. Perez kept inspecting and Fred tagged along behind. "Oh, your job is so important, and I never really knew how much we can depend on all the work you do." So there's a fireman. Fred thanked Mr. Perez and waved goodbye. Then he saw another truck that caught his eye. This truck was loud as it rumbled down the road. It was the garbage man picking up a load. "Excuse me, Mr. Banks, I'm a tag along today. May I tag along with you if I stay out of your way?" "Sure," said Mr. Banks. "My job is hard to do, but you may tag along with me if you really want to. Sometimes I pick up the bags that aren't always sturdy, so if you tag along with me, you might get a little dirty." "That's okay, I don't mind." So Mr. Banks continued working and Fred tagged along behind. "Oh, your job is so important, and I never really knew how much we can depend on all the work you do." Then Fred went home to rest for a minute. He checked the mailbox to see if the mail was in. That's when Fred saw Mr. Green walk by. Mr. Green was the mailman, and he always said hi. Fred waved to Mr. Green, and he said with a smile, "I'm a tag along today. May I follow you for a while?" "Sure," said Mr. Green, "but I walk a lot each day. My bag starts out heavy and gets light along the way. You may have to deliver mail, even when the sky is gray, to families and to friends who may live far away." "Oh, that's okay. I don't mind." So Mr. Green walked off and Fred tagged along behind. "Oh, your job is so important, and I never really knew how much we can depend on all the work you do." As Fred waved goodbye, he had to cross the street. That's when he saw the traffic cop. Her name was Mrs. Pete. "Hi, Mrs. Pete. I'm a tag along today. May I tag along with you and help you point the way?" "Sure," said Mrs. Pete, "but there are rules to obey. Stop, look, and listen is what I always say. You must stand outside in the rain and heat and snow so that you can tell others when it's safe to go." "That's okay, I don't mind." So Mrs. Perez crossed the street and Fred tagged along behind. "Oh, your job is so important, and I never really knew how much we can depend on all the work you do." When Fred came home, he told his mom and dad what he had learned that day about jobs and duties and about how people earn their pay. They say every job is important and we must always remember to be thankful and appreciate all that others do. Mom smiled and said, I'm glad you did something different, Mr. Tagalong Fred. After dinner, we'll read a story. Then you can tag along to bed. I think that's the end. Well, that was a nice story showing how everyone who works is helping us out together. It's important to remember everyone that does things for you. So I hope you have a good night's sleep, and I'll hope to see you sometime later this week. I love you. Night, night.